Good morning from just below the Mayflower Gulch Trailhead. Today you're going to be hiking 13er Centennial Atlantic Peak. For a full trail guide of Atlantic Peak, you can check the link in the description below. I say just below the Mayflower Gulch Trailhead because the road here has a little bit of snow on it, and I'm really not trying to get stuck once it softens up. This road is kind of four-wheel drive, I would say. High clearance all-wheel drive should get here fine in the summer. This west ridge is what I'll be taking today. With the extra road hiking, it's about 7 miles. If you were able to drive up to the upper trailhead, it's about 4. As I mentioned, it's a Centennial, which means it's the top 100 peak in Colorado. And the west ridge here is a great route in the winter because of its relatively low avalanche risk and, of course, accessibility and short distance. I do have Juno with me here today. This is a class 2 route, and for me that means it's dog friendly. Should be dog friendly for most dogs as well. As you get to the close to the upper trailhead here, this will be kind of your general route to the summit of Atlantic Peak, which is right there. This is the Mayflower Traverse, which I'll want to do someday. But in any case, back to this one. So if there's not going to be most likely a trail, especially in the winter, so just follow the path of least resistance up to this point and then begin your ridge walk to the summit. This is the upper trailhead here. You see the gate Juno's sprinting towards right in front of me, and old mining buildings over to the right, which is pretty cool. As I just showed you, you're just gonna kind of bear left this way. For me right now, snow is sugary, but not too deep. It's just the lunatic Juno who will run like this. Of course, she's good now. But once again, the perils of having a dog that can't be off a leash. You can see the weather moving in, and it's supposed to snow showers this afternoon, I think. So hopefully we can get out of here before that happens. Crossing those willows was genuinely one of the shittiest things I've done in a long time, especially with a dog on a leash. Up on the scree slopes now, so I ended up going a little bit too far right because that's where the path through the snow was. You don't want to see these cliff bands here. You just want to kind of go there, take the path of least resistance up to Mayflower Hill. I ended up going all the way up to the mine there and then coming this way, unless it's just 10 feet deep. Breaking trail or following a trail this way is the way to go. We were just traversing this big pile of scree here, and it was just super loose, super variable, and we're now on a hill that has a fresh track up, which is nice, but it also is just a lot more stable, even though it's steeper. As you get to the saddle here, you'll have good views of Pacific Peak over there, but you're just going to want to bang a right up this first slope to head up towards Atlantic. As you start ascending this gully here, my advice is to stay right if you can. The reason that you don't go up this slope here proper is because it's really heavily avalanche prone. But if you cut across, it just mitigates your risk. Always be sure to know the conditions and have the proper gear, probe, beacon, shovel if you're heading out. But this will be crossing the best bet. While we're talking about gear, and gear I wish I had today, a winter hike with this, you'll need gaiters for sure, probably snowshoes at the beginning to make that trench across and really to even start the slope. You probably won't need crampons on this, but some kind of traction on your feet, micro spikes would be good. And then of course, axe or hiking poles depending on snow level. I'll link all the gear I recommend for winter and spring hikes in the links in the description below to help support the channel. You can also check out all the virtual Sherpa gear that I have in my store, which I'll link as well. Once you get views like this with Pacific Peak behind me here and Atlantic Peak up there, probably not pointing to it, but you get the gist. Pick a line up this slope here like Juneau and just work your way up towards the ridge. Oh, finally up on the damn ridge. So from here it's pretty obvious. You're just gonna ride it all the way out to the summit. I don't know why I'm relearning this lesson over and over and over and over again, but God, mileage means absolutely nothing in the winter. It's just brutal when the conditions are like this and it's variable. You're like in pockets of snow and you don't know if you can step on them or not. You don't know how deep they are. So you end up spending a lot more effort route finding, a lot more effort stepping out of snow. And I have the dog, so multiply all of that by about 5. Good times. I just spent the better part of 2 hours looking for the drone that crashed. So freaking relieved I found it, but day has slipped away now and clouds are moving in, so we gotta get moving here. So obviously a bit of a cornice here, so you just got to be careful when the snow is higher how to circumnavigate this. Cornices can be super dangerous if you're not traveling right on the ridge, because you could easily crack one off and go down with it. Look at that beautiful backdrop of the Mayflower Traverse behind Juneau there. Man, I was down in the dumps when my drone crashed. It always sucks when it crashed. And this is the first time I've ever crashed it and I had no idea where it was. Spent, like I said, 2 hours looking for it and just kind of knew by GPS where it was, but it doesn't make it any easier. Just super frustrating, and I am so grateful to have found it. I'm going to try to fly it in a little bit here and see what kind of condition it's in. Man, it is not my day. I just crashed the drone again. I was trying to keep it warm because the phone battery was dead and I was worried about it crashing. What a freaking ironic thing that is. So yeah, no more flying today. I'm good. As you get closer to the summit of Atlantic Peak here, the technical part will increase a bit, but as you can see kind of right in front of me here, there is somewhat of a trail to follow. Gorgeous up here. So as you can see, this is another area here to the left that's cornice prone. It'll be pretty obvious there'll be a cornice there, but you can see here right now, at least I can stick to the ridge proper, and that's really what you want to do. You don't want to dodge cornices if they're overhanging that way. If anything, go the opposite way they're hanging. Good, Juno. Good job, Juno. Definitely a higher class 2 move here. Very proud of Juno. She was able to navigate right around it with a little help. There it is, the true summit of Atlantic Peak. Apparently this is the crux. Joy. As you get pretty much out the top here, you're gonna just kind of work up and then the summit. Juno's decided to take her own route to the summit, which leaves me under a nice big cornice. That's really lovely. Finally on the summit of Atlantic Peak. Good God, what a struggle today was. Man, happy to be up here. This was supposed to be an easy day. What a joke. Anyway, on the summit, the views up here are beautiful. You got neighboring Quandary Peak, you got Fletcher Peak, you got Dyer, all kinds of Centennials around here, 14ers, and it's just pretty, super pretty. Very lucky that the snow didn't roll in like it was supposed to, but I think I'm luckier. I found my drone 2 times after it was crashed today. Before anyone starts chirping, I have hundreds of miles and hours of flight time, but today everything just was high anxiety for me, and I really just do not function well when that happens. I have poor gear management as it is. When you add just me getting super anxious about the dog and snow and, you know, trying to make a high quality video, it just yeah, it just got to me today. Yeah, so I just had hiking boots today. All the gear I mentioned before is definitely something you're gonna want to have in higher snow conditions. So really anytime past mid-December, I would say. Definitely a dog-friendly hike. Juno made it up here pretty much no problem. Like one move that she had a tough time with, but it's just because, again, there's snow adds the difficulty. Well, I have a struggle of a long hike back to the car. I'm gonna wrap up this video of 13er Centennial Atlantic Peak. If you're new to my channel, I do virtual trail guides of the 13ers, Colorado hiking, and beyond. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button not to miss any future hike related content. Hit that bell button as well. Please give this video a thumbs up if you've ever had a struggle on the mountain, or if you've find this video helpful. As always, thank you very much for watching, We'll see you on the next adventure. That's a good girl. Thank you. One thing I forgot to mention, I forget the name, but this is the highest alpine lake in the United States. Pretty cool stuff. Wish I had the drone to fly over it, but we'll be up here again someday. Follow my GPX tracks to make sure you follow the one on the way down. The one on the way up is not direct. This one is much more direct, and I think I'm on the actual trail right now.